All right, we're calling the council special meeting of Monday, June 12th, 2023 at 5 p.m. to order. We should salute the flag since this is a regular meeting. You lead, Kitty.
Oh. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's pretty good. Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building and on the borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Batista, Mrs. Baumiller,
Here.
Ms. Lambert, Ms. Snyder,
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
I have one resolution for approval today, Resolution 143, 2023, authorizing an executive session to discuss contract negotiation redevelopment.
Anybody want to approve the motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we have no members of the public, so we'll open and close the floor for public comment. And we'll be going into closed session. We expect closed session to last approximately 1 hour to discuss contract negotiations, redevelopment. We will not take formal action in the closed session, nor when we come out of the executive session. Thank you.
All right, so we're calling the meeting to order on the 12th of June at 6:02. And the flag salute, we'll start with the flag salute, which is going to be led by Mrs. Baumiller.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and electronic notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in the Beach Haven Municipal Building, on the borough website, and mailing the same to the Beach Haven Times, the Asbury Park Press, and the Press of Atlantic City. Mr. Batista.
Here.
Mrs. Baumiller.
Here.
Ms. Lambert. Ms. Snyder.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
Cash receipts in the current fund account for the period of May 1st through May 31st, 2023 were $3,795,904.29. Cash disbursements in the current fund account for the month of May totaled $3,604,350.55. And the cash balance in the current fund account as of this period totaled $16,975,042.28. Cash receipts in the water utility account for the period of May 1st through May 31st were $141,623.98. Cash disbursements in the water utility account for the month of May totaled $86,537.98. And the cash balance in the water utility account as of May 31st, 2023 was $5,033,040.41, submitted by our treasurer, Sherry Bowler. I have minutes for approval, the agenda meeting and the closed session from April 27th, 2023.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have to abstain.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain. I was late to the meeting, so I.
You're abstaining?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ordinance 2023-15C, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 95, Fire Prevention, Article 13, Knox boxes in the Borough Code of the Borough of Beach Haven, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, to extend the deadline for installation compliance. Final reading.
It is final reading, so members of the audience can speak to this if they have any thoughts on it. I'll open the floor. Is there anybody on Zoom? No? Nobody wants to speak to it? I'll close the floor. And do we have a motion to approve?
What is the deadline now?
The original ordinance gave us 6 months from enactment, which was April. This will give us 12 months from the date of enactment, so it'll be October.
And what is the penalty if it's not installed?
I'd have to go back and look.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I make a motion, we approve 2023-15C.
Second.
Mr. Batista.
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
We have ordinance 17C on the agenda for first reading, but I'm going to be removing that. We'll be discussing that at a future meeting. Any comments on that? You're okay with that?
No, that's
Okay.
fine. That's
Good.
great.
2023-19 is an amendment to bond ordinance number 2021-35, finally adopted by the Borough of Beach Haven in the County of Ocean, State of New Jersey on October 12th, 2021, to increase the appropriation therein by $375,000 and authorizing the issuance of $357,000 additional bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. The purpose is to fully fund the NJ DOT Road Improvement Project, Pennsylvania and Pelham Avenues. First reading.
Does anybody have any comments? To put on the record.
I just saw this tonight.
Mhm.
It's a lot of money, $357,000. I'd like to hear from our public works supervisor, a little more understanding of why this thing is $357,000 over budget.
Okay.
So would you like to table this?
I think we can let the ordinance go through. We can always,
That's right, it's not
Sure.
approved, so you can do the first reading.
Yeah.
Any other comments from any of the council members?
I know Kitty and I, we sat through the engineering meeting recently and Shari did discuss it and it made sense when we were sitting in the meeting and she
Yeah.
explained where we were and how we had to pull from the utility since the project did include utility, water utility infrastructure. We just have to balance the scales.
Yeah. Yeah, sounded reasonable at the time. but it
Well,
is a lot
I
of
wasn't
money.
at that engineering meeting.
There's nothing wrong with questioning it, just to
Neither was
clarify.
me.
Yep.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the ordinance? First reading.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? I'll second it.
Mr. Batista,
yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda are considered to be routine by the municipal council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Resolution 105 authorizing the appointment of Mark Frieda as tax assessor and also granting tenure for Mark. 140 is returning dumpster bond. 141, returning piling bonds. 142, authorizing the execution of a shared service agreement by and between the Borough of Beach Haven and the Township of Long Beach for the municipal transportation system. 144 is approving an additional resident request handicap parking space. 145 is authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the Borough of Beach Haven, no longer needed for public use, specifically bicycles. We have 40 to 50 bicycles this year. 146 is a cancellation of uncollectible taxes due to a 2021 billing error. 147 is supporting the New Jersey Forest Fire Service and fuels mitigation projects using prescribed fire and other treatments. 148 is authorizing the award of a contract for professional services not to exceed $17,500 to hire an environmental consultant or LSRP. 149 is authorizing the Borough of Beach Haven Police Department to participate in the 2023 National Priority Safety Program.
Does anybody want to remove any of these resolutions for further discussion? Any council member want to remove any? No. So therefore, do I have a vote to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll
Okay, I'll
second.
second it.
Mr. Batista.
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller.
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
All right, at this time, we're going to renew the 2023-24 liquor licenses. We do have to read them one at a time, open the floor, hold a public hearing before we adopt for each license. Resolution 130, 2023 is granting a liquor license to Waterfront Restaurants LLC, trading as Black Whale Fish House with special conditions.
Are there any comments on this particular resolution for the license of the Black Whale? Can we open this to the floor as well?
We have to open the floor, see
Okay,
if there's public comment, close, and then we can move to approve
okay,
every license.
okay. So I'm opening the floor. Does anybody want to speak to the Black Whale liquor license? No, so therefore do I have a motion to approve the Black Whale liquor license, which is 130.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Batista,
I'm going to abstain.
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 131, granting a liquor license to J.C. Beach Haven Tavern, trading as Buckaloo's Restaurant and Tavern, Buckaloo's and Station 117 with special conditions.
Would anybody in the audience like to speak to this Buckaloo's liquor license? No? So does anybody on council want to speak to it? I guess not. Is there a motion? I think I need to recuse myself.
Okay,
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll have a.
Second.
let's see. Mr. Batista,
Abstain.
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Abstain.
You have to have a
Right.
majority of those present, so that's 2 and 2.
I don't have a personal interest in Buckaloo's. If the borough manager feels that I am not in conflict, I would vote yes, but I'll leave that up to your decision.
I'll leave it as is. If we have to readdress it at the next meeting, we will. They don't expire until the end of June.
Okay.
So I'll take a look at that.
Fine. Okay.
So 1 and 2 and 2. Resolution 132, granting a liquor license to Seashell Club with special conditions.
Anybody like to, I'm opening the floor to the public. Would anybody like to speak to the Shell liquor license? Okay, I'm closing the floor. Do we have a motion to approve the Shell liquor license, which is 132?
So moved.
Is there-
Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Baumiller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 133, granting a liquor license to Murphy's Market with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor to anybody that would like to speak to this particular. I see nobody. So therefore, is there a motion to approve Murphy's liquor license?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Baumiller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 134, granting a liquor license to Don Rommel's Liquor Store with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor to the public. If anybody would like to speak to Rommel's liquor license. Seeing no interest, do I have a motion to approve? the liquor-
Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Baumiller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
135, granting a liquor license to the Engleside Inc. with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor. If anybody in the audience would like to speak to the Angleside liquor license. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Baumiller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
136, granting a liquor license to Bird and Betty's LLC with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor. If anybody would like to speak to Bird and Betty's liquor license, please come forward. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the liquor license for Bird and Betty's?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Baumiller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 137, granting a liquor license to the Beach Haven Marlin and Tuna Club with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor to the public. If anybody would like to speak to the Marlin and Tuna liquor license. Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Taggart, Joe.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 138, granting a liquor license to Tucker's Restaurant, Inc. with special conditions.
Again, I'm opening the floor for Tucker's liquor license. If anybody would like to come forward and speak? Seeing none, is there somebody that would like to approve Tucker's liquor license?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
Resolution 139, allowing the state of New Jersey, the division of ABC, to renew a liquor license for 1503 32 009 008 to the Marlin Restaurant and Bar, Inc. with special conditions, as this license is a conflict license. But Mr. Batista is a member of council.
Anybody in the audience would like to come forward and speak to the Marlin liquor license? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve 139?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Batista,
Abstain?
Mrs. Ball Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Snyder.
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes.
I have a bill list this evening in the amount of $1,388,589.16.
Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Batista?
Yes.
Mrs. Ball Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Snyder?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, so I'm opening the floor to public comment. And that means you can comment about anything. If you want to come forward, please do. State your name and address.
Brian Boker, 5404 South Long Beach Boulevard, Beach Haven Inlet. I just want to ask you guys if you were all aware that the borough had approved the town council to prepare documents to present to the land use board in regards to the Holiday Snack Bar land use board meeting, prepared documents that could possibly influence the decisions made by the land use board. I'm assuming you were all informed of that because you were CC'd on the letters. I want to know if you were all informed about the letter received less than 24 hours after the land use board meeting to our attorneys from Mr. Padula. I'm going to assume you read this because you were all CC'd on it. But it's to clarify, it addresses me, it's to clarify the confusion I may have regarding the holiday snack bar as it relates to outdoor seating and the total number of seats. I think we can clarify a few things through Mr. Padula's letter. If he's here, I'd like to thank him for sending the letter. But two issues that can be cleared up by Mr. Padula's letter to us on June 6th, less than 24 hours after the land use board meeting. First, Mr. Padula states that the holiday was approved for outside dining in 2013. He says that to us. We're approved for outside dining in 2013. I have emails dated 3/28/23 that says there are no records of the holiday snack bar having outdoor dining. 10 years after we were approved for outdoor dining, I have emails saying that there's no records that the holiday snack bar had outside dining. So I think that's one thing that we could clear up through the letter. Secondly, the issue is total number of seats. In 2013, 2019, minimally, the holiday snack bar had 70 seats. He said we had 24 outside seats. The issue was, could we prove that we had 45 indoor seats? Well, his letter cleared that up too. In May 2020, the holiday was granted 8 picnic tables in addition to the previously approved 24 seats for a total of 72 outdoor seats during COVID. So this ordinance allowed establishments to relocate indoor seating outdoors as indicated by allowing 8 additional picnic tables. The borough is admitting the holiday had 42 to 48 indoor seats. So they have records of 24 outside seats. And you see now that there's records between 42 and 48 indoor seats, sticking with the 70 seats. I have emails from the borough that dated 3/28/23 that our total number of seats is 45. That's decreasing our total number of seats by 24 or 25 seats, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this should clear that up, that we had 70 to 72 total seats. And this email that we received on 3/28/23 saying we have 45 total seats was obviously an error. The other thing is, I got an email on 3/27/23 that said they don't care where we have these 45 seats, although I know it's 70, we're talking about the 45 seats they were talking about. They don't care if we have them inside, we can have 45 seats inside, we could have 45 seats outside. We can have a combination of both.
30 seconds.
So why am I going to the land use board if the business administrators already told us that we can have up to 45 seats outside, or 30 seats outside, or 20 seats outside, but our total is 70 seats. So there's two huge issues that relate to our current situation. That's total number of seats and outdoor dining. You guys all got the email, I'm sure you read it. But I have a lot of notes that if you want to read through my notes that show you where we can justify what I just said, I would be glad to meet and sit down with all of you, because we would like to put this to rest. But I don't believe anybody else wants to put this to rest, because we wouldn't have been met with the land. When's the last time you guys approved the town
That's fine.
attorney to attend a land use board meeting and present information?
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Brian.
for listening.
Anybody else like to come forward and speak? Nobody? Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to come forward and speak? Nope. So I'm closing the floor to public comment. And now I have last. We do have somebody that wants to come forward and speak?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess I just didn't see you.
No, I'm short. Sit back
So
there.
am I.
Carol Weissman, 310 Southwest Avenue. I just for point of clarification, this is regarding the ordinance or the exemption of the ordinance for the mooring of the boats. That was, I guess, brought forward last week. So is the public comment for that on June 29th? Is that the second reading? So that's when we clarify that. Okay. We read the published ordinance that was, I guess, on June 1st was, and at least for us, it doesn't appear to address any of the issues about it. It's just basically exempting the existing ordinance from that. So this is like the third or fourth time. Our group would really welcome having the opportunity to have a conversation with any of you. We've sent letters, we've reached out. There's never been a contact with us. We're the adjoining neighbor to where this is taking place, to hear some of the things that we have to say about it. So once again, before this all gets laid in stone, we'd like the opportunity to do that. To us, it reads simply that, once again, we've got no regulation going on there. No one knows who the boats belong to. No one cares. Doesn't matter how many are there. Doesn't matter how long they are. Doesn't matter for what purpose it is. We're just basically saying that we're going to have a section of municipal riparian land or water here that has no regulation. We wouldn't do it anywhere else in town. So, we really would like to have an opportunity to be able to discuss that. So we're inviting you to do so. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you come here, I'll write my cell number down and you can call me. I'll be happy to meet with you anytime you want.
I would also be happy to do that.
We're allowed to have two
Two at a time.
at a meeting,
Okay.
a private meeting.
Okay.
Otherwise, it has to be an open public meeting.
We can
So
make this happen.
you can call me anytime. I am available.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to come forward?
Jim Cadmus, 327 Pearl Street, Beach Haven. Glad to be in front of you once again, and I'm still going to be addressing the skate park issue. We continue to hear that Walsh Field is the preferred site for the proposed skate park. Stakes were in the ground on Walsh Field outlining the park, and supposedly there is enough funds to complete phase one. It would be nice to see in a detail of all the associated costs with phase one. Also, it would be nice to understand how phase two would be tying into phase one. What is the council's current stance on completion of this project? It seems like you, the council members, don't know where and when you are going on this, or perhaps you do know where and when you're going, but you just don't want to share it. So which one of you are going to let us know so we can look forward to receiving an answer on exactly where are we and where we're going? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else like to come forward and speak? Okay, I am closing the floor to public comment. All right, so now we have last or final comments by council. Kitty, do you want to make a final comment?
Thank you all for coming tonight. Just want to congratulate all of our Beach Haven school graduates and our Southern Regional school graduates, all both graduating this week, and LBI school graduates. Also, happy Father's Day to all your dads and to Michael. And just thanks for coming.
Thank you. Michael, how about you?
Okay, first of all, I'll address the gentleman who wants an answer on the where the skate park is and what council's doing on that. We're trying to find the ideal spot for the skate park, which obviously has not been established yet. So to put your mind at ease, we are not conspiring behind closed doors to slip a skateboard park in your backyard. It will be at a public meeting. It will have proper notice. But as we sit here right now, we haven't come to a conclusion or a decision on where best the skateboard park would go in this town. I hope that gives you some answer to your question. I was at the Pearl Street Market the other day, and as I was walking out, the little early morning congregation there, I heard some objection to this concept of being a little kinder to the pedestrians by stopping. If someone steps off the curb in a crosswalk, we're trying to get cars to stop in both directions. And I was a little taken back by that, but I tried to explain that this initiative is to just provide a friendlier place, a safer place, a kinder place. When you come to Beach Haven, there's not a rush to get to Holgate to catch the ferry before it leaves. There's no way off. You have to turn around and go out the way you came in. And the hope is that people come here and relax and enjoy themselves. And so as I was walking out after that encounter, a gentleman with a white lab stepped off the curb and started crossing the street. It was early in the morning, and there was one car coming down Bay Avenue, and they stopped. The gentleman looked at the person in the car, and he was thrilled. It's working, but we have to be diligent, and people have to understand the purpose for this. This is not another regulation or rule that we're trying to impose on everybody. What we're trying to do is make Beach Haven a little kinder, a little safer, a little happier place to be. So I'm going to keep trying for that. I hope it works. But I was happy to see the gentleman with the lab, and he was happy. So that's working. Otherwise, thank you all. Appreciate the time to be here.
Jamie.
I just wanted to echo what Kitty was saying to congratulate all the graduates. My daughter being one of the sixth grade graduates at the Beach Haven Elementary School. She's going across the pond next year, but congratulations to all the graduates. I feel like we're almost full speed ahead with summer. The last 2 weekends have been gorgeous. The art walk was
Success.
a success.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like there's a festival every weekend. I think this
Mary
weekend
Claire,
is.
I was thinking of you on how much work that must have been, and that was success.
Yeah, every year they modify and they tweak it here and there, and it was such a beautiful day. And the artists were, it was nice to see the kids. They had a little passport that they walked to all the vendors, and so I thought it was amazing.
A lot of that was the Beach Haven Chamber of Commerce. That was all
Yeah,
on them.
Lindsay Ryan did a great job.
Yeah,
I
so
think
thank
she
you to the
chaired it,
Beach
yeah.
Haven Commerce as well. And Chief, the first neighborhood watch meeting, next Wednesday? It's tomorrow. Okay. So to,
Gonna be a packed house.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people.
so Tuesday? I thought that we were gonna do Wednesday. Tuesday?
It was Tuesday last year also.
Yeah, okay.
Tuesday is,
Can you come up to the mic and just give the day and time so anyone that's listening
I
knows?
thought it was next week.
it's Tuesday at 6 PM. And the reason for that was last year we did it that way so that the
The new guys.
group that is working on Tuesday is the same group that's going to be here on the weekend. So
Okay.
it's their shift. They'll be able to, any complaints, they'll be able to try to address them.
So
But
tomorrow at 6 PM in this room, and you're expecting a
packed house.
packed house.
Yep, they are,
I'll be
they're
here.
coming.
Mostly
Okay.
over the crowds at Taylor.
It's all about the
Yeah.
Taylor Avenue.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question, Chief?
Sure.
As far as
Problem.
public gathering is concerned in a public place, aren't there some regulations in place that would prohibit large crowds to gather?
Well, there's not much we can do with juveniles. So there's lots of rules and stuff like that that you can enforce on adults, but not so many that you can enforce on juveniles. Some simple things like some more, like almost all of our borough ordinances, screaming and shouting, urinating in public, which is a big thing in the shore towns. We can't write those to juveniles. The only thing we can write to the juveniles is Title 39 stuff, which is motor vehicle infractions and curfew.
And what?
Curfew. So which our curfew is midnight and Long Beach just matched our curfew. So they're midnight too. So at least we're all on the same page right now. But there's a lot of questions that we're getting from the Neighborhood Watch email that had to do with curfew maybe being 10 o'clock. And people wanted to ban backpacks all throughout town, which I don't think is something we can possibly
Yeah, how
do.
would you-
It'd be illegal to do that. But they're banning other towns on boardwalks and parks and stuff like that, but they wanted them banned just in Beach Haven. So we're going to discuss all of that tomorrow.
The reason for that is because it would be so difficult to enforce and constitutionally. it's- yeah.
Constitutionally, yeah, if
Yeah.
you were walking down the street with a backpack on, I could tell you you can't have it.
Right.
But you can ban them in parks.
In parks, yeah. And we can discuss that. There's a lot of ins and outs with, changing some of the rules, and if we change the curfew to an earlier time too, that's gonna create, it might fix one thing, but it's gonna create its own problem somewhere else. So, which is what we did a couple of years ago, and it was chasing the kids all around the back streets,
Yeah.
which is, we don't really have enough people, the whole island doesn't have enough people to do that, even if we all got together, so.
I know that you and I spoke about this, but a little bit, help put your mind at ease a little bit about the 4th, and that is that I know you're going to be getting outside help.
Yeah, I have, all of the towns on the island are gonna send officers down, so we'll have extra people there. And the sheriff's department is sending, he said he was gonna send 7 and a supervisor down too, so,
This is every night, Chief?
I'm sorry?
For the 4th.
4th of July.
July 4th.
Yeah, 4th of July, last year, 4th of July went a little,
I did receive a letter from Rich over at Bistro. I think probably the other
We all did.
council do. And I did call him back, and he said that when you bring in this supporting staff, that it is much better. So
that didn't happen yet. I mean,
must have
the
happened
supporting staff of, which
of
sheriff's
the
department?
neighboring,
that only happened last 4th of July when.
maybe that's
when
what
it
he was referring to.
went
then.
chaos,
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, we can't really rely on them to come down every
Right.
night.
No, of course not.
And how many summer officers do you have?
22. I think we're slotted for 34.
Right.
Which we weren't able to fill, and
So 22 out of 34.
And when is the concentration of the problem?
4th of July.
No, I mean, as far as the timing, 10 o'clock at night.
No, sundown to midnight. So we're at 9 PM to midnight is just, it's busy down there.
Yeah.
3 hours.
A solid 3 hours of just kids.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, last year we played around with the idea of maybe kind of at the very beginning, closing off that area, shutting off the lights.
It would take a lot of people. Well, and that's the other thing we're working on is I have a meeting with the sheriff to see if we can get one of their light machines, the light trailer, to put down there. And I have talked to Atlantic City Electric. We just haven't gotten any response yet, whether or not they're going to be able to add some more lighting down there.
Maybe we should be renting a couple of construction light poles for.
Yeah, I mean, we could
if you
do
can't
that,
get
but
them in the county.
if we could rent them, we could just probably have Public Works install them, but I think that money was already used last time they did it, so.
Okay.
It's just all about adding more money to Public Works budget to put up lights and do that kind of stuff. I mean, the camera system down there is starting to age too. And we notice the cameras are getting grainier. Public Works goes down and tries to clean off the lenses as much as possible, but everything comes down to where we're spending it. So kind of keep asking for it over and over again.
And I just have one last question. Has any of the other businesses besides the bars supplied any type of their own personal security?
No, bars are the only ones required right now to have security.
I just thought
We
maybe-
talked about, I don't know if it came to you guys yet, but we talked about maybe having an ordinance that said businesses open past a certain time should have a security guard. It'd be great for places, it'd be great for like 7-Eleven because
Yeah, I didn't know if they
Yeah.
took an initiative to actually,
no, and I don't think that's gonna happen unless they're required to do it by the town, but Schooners Wharf, Bay Village, they all have a lot of property
right?
that demands a lot of our officers going onto their property to move kids. If they had security,
They could do that.
that would alleviate some of our problems.
Okay, we'll have to look into that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I really just reiterated everything everybody else said. And just to repeat, we're totally transparent on this council. Nobody's trying to push something through without the public knowing. And I'm sure any of us on council would be very happy to take any calls with questions and that sort of thing from any person that pays taxes in Beach Haven. So on that note, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Thank you.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.